Babies. I am quarantined in my room and you can really go back crazy. Let's just be clear. Did I just spit? I'm sorry while I was talking. Oh, I want to talk. Can we talk, please? I'm quarantined because I'm filming and I can't leave the room until it's time to film. So I am just in here sort of digesting what we watched last night in the vice presidential debate. Can we talk about that? Okay, but I don't want to talk about what's been trending. It's been talked to death. The fly, about who won, all of that. Don't. What I'd like to talk about is the narrative that I've been hearing across the aisle about Kamala's performance last night. It's been said that she's had a black girl attitude. And when I heard that said the first time, I jolted because it was, oh my God, did they really just say that on television? I mean, this is getting insane. When is that okay? And for those of you who don't understand what was wrong with saying that, there is an undertone, a racial undertone. There's a connotation attached to that. Black girl attitude. It's associated with the angry black woman. That unfortunately, that's a label that all black women have to deal with. It's the reason that we're the only group of people who have to soften ourselves all the time. That we can be direct, but not too direct. Show them you're smart, but don't be too smart. Be sassy, but don't be too sassy to make them feel put on the spot. We always have to buffer ourselves, soften ourselves, dumb ourselves down, but at the same time, do twice as much just to be considered equal. And I honestly didn't see any attitude coming from Kamala last night. She was a vice presidential candidate. She came armored and ready for war, but at the same time softened herself, because let's just be clear, for those of us who've seen her in Senate and we've heard her debate and address issues before, you've seen her prosecute. The woman can bring it. She would be the capital letter at the beginning of a sentence and an exclamation point at the end. And she didn't do that last night. And I think it was very intentional because Biden's leading and she don't want to mess it up, right? And she has to be, here it is, you ready? This is what we have to do as black women. We have to soften ourselves to be palpable across the board. And so that's what she was doing so that she could appeal to independents. And I just didn't see attitude. So let's just define what there, and I want to show you because, there are many people. I'm blessed to have those of you follow me who are even from different backgrounds. Again, as I said, we don't always have to agree. You're still welcome on my page. You can still comment. We can debate. We're still good people. It doesn't necessarily mean just because I have one view and you have a different view that we got to be bad people. But it gives me an opportunity to educate. Okay. As a black woman, and I have to deal with always, well, what are you mixed with? I am black mixed with black. A girlfriend of mine had a t-shirt like that. I loved it. But as a black woman, I also find that I often have to soften myself, buffer myself, really have a full dialogue before I deliver something to make sure that it's going to be in tone and palpable before I deliver it. Sometimes it gets exhausting. It is frustrating. But it doesn't mean that we're angry. It doesn't. I'm not angry. Most of us, we're not angry. But immediately when something happens, it's like, there it is. There it goes. It's that black girl attitude. There it is. We knew. And it's like, you just copied my whole report. Or you just crashed into my car. Or you just called me the N-word. Yeah, I'm going to show some attitude. But it's not fair. It's even in the workplace, right? Like in the boardroom, we're often overtalked, overlooked, undervalued, just like what we witnessed last night with Vice President Pence. He overtalked Kamala. She in a very considerate and professional way, every time he started talking and it was his turn, she would stop, she would listen, she would wait, and then she would talk when the moderator addressed her. He mowed her over, mowed both women over, even the moderator, and didn't follow the rules. But that's a privilege. See what I'm saying? That is a privilege. If he rolled his neck or rolled his eyes, he wouldn't be labeled as someone having an attitude, but automatically a woman, and a black woman, if she has any level of emotion, any reaction to anything, if she's not just stoic, if she's not a robot spitting off facts, then she's angry and she's got an attitude. And so they said she rolled her eyes and rolled her neck, and I didn't see that. So let me just show you what rolling your eyes looks like. This is rolling your eyes. Okay, that's when you're about to catch it. That's rolling your eyes. I saw her look to the left, look to the right. kind of look off a bit when she really could not believe some of the stuff that was being spewed, and that Pence tried to actually push through that he didn't believe there was systemic racism in this country and in our judicial system and law enforcement. Even the fly didn't believe that one. So yeah, she looked off like, oh, but that wasn't an eye roll. She didn't roll her neck. She didn't do any of that. But again, this is what we as Black women deal with, and why we always have to temper ourselves, be extremely calculated and thought out, and why we got to work extra hard, triply hard, be triply educated just to get a fair shake. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and it does by labeling a woman who is Black as someone who has an attitude automatically. It is racist. And even if you don't mean it and you didn't know, because I realize that's a thing where people are like, dag, I guess I have done that before and I didn't realize it was racist. There's a lot of things that are done on a daily basis that you may not mean, that have a racist connotation. And guess what? Many of us are used to it. We know you don't mean no harm, so we don't even get into it. But this on television and headlines, labeling her as an angry Black woman last night, it's unfair and it's frankly untrue. Okay, I just need to share that. I still love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Go on and comment.